Welcome to Spiritual Calisthenics.
Christ is in our midst. Today, on Sunday, October 22nd, we commemorate the 6th Sunday of Luke, as well as Saint Averkios, the equal to the apostles and Wonderworker, Bishop of Hierapolis, and the 7 holy martyred youths of Ephesus. Regarding Saint Averkios, equal to the apostles and Wonderworker, Bishop of Hierapolis, Saint Averkios of Hierapolis and Phrygia in the time of Marcus Aurelius was adorned with the grace of wonder-working and with apostolic zeal. During a festival in honor of Apollo, the chief deity of Hierapolis, and the holy bishop was instructed in revelation to destroy the idols. He went to the temple by night, overturned the statue of Apollo and the others. When this was discovered, the saint boldly cried out that the gods, becoming drunk from the wine of the libations offered them, had struck one against another in their confusion. A multitude of furious pagans came to avenge the insult to their gods. But when the saint cast the demons out of the 3 afflicted young men, fear fell upon the idolaters, and they with the whole city became Christian. After many labors and afflictions, Saint Averkios reposed in peace about the year 167. A model of faith in the image of gentleness, the example of your life has shown you forth to your sheepfold to be a master of temperance. You obtain thus through being lowly gifts from on high, and riches through poverty. Averkios, our Father and Priest of priests, intercede with Christ our God, that he may save our souls. The Church of all the faithful does acclaim you, O Averkios, as a great priest and a worthy companion of the 12 apostles of the Lord. By your prayers, O blessed hierarch, keep the Church safe from every vain-minded heresy, unconquered and unshaken forever, O you most wondrous one. Regarding the 7 holy martyred youths of Ephesus, the 7 youths hid themselves in a certain cave near Ephesus in the year 250 to escape the persecution of Decius. By divine grace, a sleep came upon them, and they slept for 184 years, until the reign of St. Theodosius the Younger, when the doctrine of the resurrection was being assailed by heretics. Then they awoke, that is, were resurrected, confirming in the sight of all the bodily resurrection. And again, after a short time, by divine command, they reposed in the Lord in the year 434. Your martyrs, O Lord, in their courageous contest for you, received as the prize the crowns of incorruption and life from you, our mortal God. For since they possessed your strength, they cast down the tyrants, and wholly destroyed the demon's strengthless presumption. O Christ God, by their prayers, save our souls, since you are merciful. From St. Paul's letter to the Galatians. Brethren, I would have you know that the gospel which was preached by me is not man's gospel. For I did not receive it from man, nor was I taught it, but it came through a revelation of Jesus Christ. For you have heard of my former life in Judaism, how I persecuted the church of God violently, and tried to destroy it. And I advanced in Judaism beyond many of my own age among my people. So extremely zealous was I for the traditions of my fathers. But when he who had set me apart before I was born, and had called me through his grace, was pleased to reveal his Son to me, in order that I might preach him among the Gentiles, I did not confer with flesh and blood, nor did I go up to Jerusalem to those who were apostles before me, but I went away into Arabia, and again I returned to Damascus. Then, after 3 years, I went up to Jerusalem to visit Cephas, and remained with him 15 days, but I saw none of the other disciples except James, the Lord's brother. This is something that St. Paul is teaching us, that the church is not encapsulated in a man, is not encapsulated in a single person. It is Christ's church. And so therefore, whether the truth is taught from St. Paul or St. Peter or a bishop or a priest, the church is the truth. The vehicle, the preacher who is telling it, myself included, is not important. And so therefore, St. Paul is telling us that his authority does not come from the sake that he spoke to one of the disciples or one of the other great teachers, but came directly from Christ. And that Paul's teachers outside of Christ were not of the upper echelon names, but were preachers in these other areas, in Arabia, in Damascus, meaning that the church, regardless of where it is the bastion and the keeper of the truth. The Gospel according to St. Luke. At that time, as Jesus arrived at the country of the Gadarenes, there met him a man from the city who had demons, For a long time he had worn no clothes, and he lived not in a house, but among the tombs. This showing us that demons are all about death. They want us to die, spiritually and physically, and so he stays in the tomb. They do not want us to be clothed with a garment of salvation, and so the man is naked. When he saw Jesus, he cried out and fell down before him, and he said in a loud voice, "What have you to do with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I beseech you, do not torment me." Now, this demon is calling Jesus Christ the Son of the Most High God, not because he understands that Jesus Christ is the Logos, the Son of God, but because he sees and knows that he is the Christ, and he knows that Jesus Christ as the Messiah, as the Christ, the Anointed One, he has the power to cast out demons and to command them. For he had commanded the unclean spirit to come out of the man. For many a time it had seized him. He was kept under guard and bound with chains and fetters, but he broke the bonds and was driven by the demon into the desert. Now this shows us the supernatural power that demons have, that he's able to break chains. And we're not talking about small, like aluminum bindings. We're talking about heavy manacles, heavy iron chains, and he's ripping them apart. This is how strong the demon is. And he's in the desert because the desert is where there is no life. Life is God. Life is Christ. And so the demons want us to be in the desert. They want us to be alone. They want us to be isolated. Jesus then asked him, "What is your name?" He said, "Legion." Legion meaning 1,000 men. For many demons had entered him, and they begged him not to command them to depart into the abyss. Now we might wonder, how in the world do 1,000 demons enter this person? Because it's never just all at once. It's not like this man said, "Okay, demons, enter me." It's one sin, followed by another sin, by another sin, by another sin, by another sin. One by one by one, we erode our soul as we let more and more demons into us, whether it's the demon of lust, the demon of fornication, the demon of gluttony, the demon of idleness, the demon of vainglory. One by one by one by one, we give control of ourselves over to the enemy. And so this legion of demons is now controlling the person. Now a large herd of swine was feeding there in the hillside, and they begged him to let them enter into these. So he gave them leave. The demons came out of the man and entered the swine, and the herd rushed down the steep bank into the lake and were drowned. This shows us that but for the mercy of God, but for the demons holding the demons back, this is what the demons would do to us, because they hate us. They want to destroy us spiritually, physically. They want us dead, separated from God. Mainly because this is the only way that the demons and the devil can hurt God. Because we are of value to God. God wants us with him because he loves us. And so the only way that the demons can hurt God, because they cannot hurt God, not physically, not directly, is to keep us away from God by making us make the decisions that'll pull us away from God. In other words, get us to sin so utterly that we are separate, and then kill ourselves so that we are eternally separated. Then people went out to see what had happened, and they came to Jesus and found the man from whom the demons had gone sitting at the feet of Jesus, clothed and in his right mind, and they were afraid. This man is now clothed, symbolizing the garment of salvation, baptism. He's in his right mind, the phronima. The saints have that halo. It symbolizes that you're in the right mindset. This man has been saved. But they are not able to accept this, and they are afraid. And those who had seen it told them how he had been possessed with demons and was healed. Then all the people of the surrounding country of the Gadarenes asked him to depart from them. They were seized with great fear. So he got into the boat and turned. And this is the tragedy of this story, that we are presented with that which can heal us, that which can save us. Many times, instead of accepting that help, we reject it, we push it away. The man from whom the demons had gone begged that he might be with him, but he sent him away, saying, "Return to your home and declare how much God has done for you." And he went away, proclaiming throughout the whole city how much Jesus had done for him. In other words, this man now has the right mindset. He's in his right mind. He wants to be with Christ. He wants to be with Christ forever. But Jesus Christ did not push him away because he didn't want to be with him, because he thought the man wasn't able to be with him. No. He made this man a disciple, an apostle, prepare the way. So as this man who was formerly possessed is now in the city, declaring the glory of God, He is preparing the harvest so that when the disciples come back later after the resurrection, they will be more readily able to accept and experience Christ.
I hope that you've enjoyed today's Spiritual Calisthenics. Have a blessed and wonderful day.